the Twa, the Pygmy, and some subsets of Bantu, right? So the language began to be broke up over there. The root language is what they call the Niger-Condorfian stock, the linguistics. So when you study the linguistics, it's telling you how the tribes is divided up by language. Then when you study the genetics, you see how the tribes is protectorates of other tribes. So you got some tribes, they're supposed to be what we call farmer tribes, right? And they supposed to feed the warrior tribes. The warrior tribes are supposed to protect the farmer tribes. So this is probably how you reach the balance. When they come over, the first thing they do is they catch us farming, they kill us. And then they put a pink motherfucker in the field and he dropped dead in 2 days. So now they can't kill us. They can't use the pink people because the pink people can't handle the conditions of our land because they're not from here. It's the same problem they ran into in Africa. They end up, King Leopold sent Cecil Rhodes to settle the Congo. And they slaughtered 30 million Congolese people when they went. They deforested the same way they did over here. And then they turned around and hired motherfuckers over there to do it. Right? And nobody was none the wiser to what was going on because the clans had fell into what you call disarray. The leadership was took out first. They always have to take the leaders out first. Get rid of the leaders. Now you got a whole bunch of misleaders trying to fight for a position of power. And if you offer them a strategic advantage over somebody they fighting, you become their ally, which become the detriment to both sides because these motherfuckers is not just trying to conquer them. They trying to conquer your ass too. Now, they did the same thing to us. They had motherfucking Apaches fighting Tomahawk and Choctaw and Cherokee. They had us fighting each other over here. For a long time, we didn't know what was going on. Then one day, Noble Ali infiltrated something called the Moorish Zionist Temple and came out and said, hold up, this ain't us. Who is these motherfuckers? David Walker wrote about it before him. There's some strangers on the land, man. Who the fuck is these people? Then, this is what was out cold. The melanated ones that look like us would pretend to be slaves to the pale slave that they brought over in our presence to confuse us. That was the home run right there. That was the height of theatrical performance. They dressing down, taking off their Quaker clothes, putting on sackcloth so they can look like they struggling. Remember, I know your works in your poverty, but you rich. You faking ass motherfucker acting like you ain't got no money. And all the time, you in the community undercutting us and tearing us down.
Oh my gosh, Uncle Rod. So like, you be talking about like the town that I moved to a different town, but like the town that I grew up in, I still go there all the time. And we have a female mayor. She's a black woman. And I was telling like my boyfriend, like I be telling him all the time, like I feel like, you know, our town could get what you be talking about, like with the FEMA stuff, like rolling. But I feel like, cause I feel like there is awareness, but I feel like nobody really knows like what to do yet. And I feel like too, it is still a lot of like the dirty Moors, like, cause my boyfriend, he worked like in our, like, we got like a public works like in our town. And it's like, yeah, like, okay, you know what that is. So like he was a part of that. And he was like, you know, they would be like gossiping and shit like in there. So like he was like, basically he found out that our mayor is with a man or whatever, and he's a black man, but like he was saying like he kind of be like trying to undermine her or like put like stuff in her head to like basically make the wrong decisions for our town, because like he's also like I think like an attorney or some other like thing in the community. So like she trusts him, I guess. And like he was saying, like he kind of be like leading her astray or trying to. And I was just like, I don't know, like that was just so like I feel like that's so crazy because it really do be like anybody. But that was also like a question that I had, like how do you even get past that? Like, how do you think? I feel like it's kind of what you were saying, just more like the general awareness. But I don't know.
Yeah,
I'd be
so
wondering,
we
like a
we was using $5 Indians to put them on notice and serve eviction notices. Turnabout is fair play. The same motherfucker way they use pale faces to
yeah,
pretend that they ain't the ones behind this shit. We sent the same motherfuckers back to them to tell them to get off our shit.
that's what they did in
Now, the
Georgia.
most critical city to put on notice was Atlanta. That's because of the Trail of Tears and Andrew Jackson. Everything that came after that is on notice. Atlanta being put on notice, notice to agent is notice to principal. By putting Atlanta on notice, everybody that came across that Appalachian Mountains is already on notice. So you don't have to go every city. You got to get the key cities, right? In certain places, we've sent in $5 Indians to put people on notice because our people so traumatized from the Conjure War, we freeze under confronting these people now. We don't know what to do. Cancel the fucking contract. Abandon the fraud and cancel the contract. That's the only remedy in law. When the fraud is discovered, the only remedy is the abandonment defense. If you discover the fraud and you say, well, I'm going to wait 2 days, you've been in that fraud for 2 days actively participating, knowing full well you participating in the fraud. That make you the same guilty as the motherfucker committing the fraud because now you are what's called a party to the crime. But in the abandonment defense, hold up, this ain't right. I'm deuces. I ain't participating in that fuckery. And you leave. And they gone home with the fraud. They not gonna stop the fraud because we walk away from it. They ain't gonna stop the fraud until it's enough of us walk away from it that it doesn't work no more. And we pretty much there. We've been using $5 Indians the same way they used them when they came over here. We've been running them motherfuckers right up their ass. And now they don't know what to do because the same motherfuckers they used to oppress us is breaking us free because of the trauma we went through. We not psychologically equipped to stand up to the man. So don't worry about it. I'm psychologically equipped for that shit. I'll run up in that motherfucker and snatch him up off the bench from behind the counter at the police. I don't give a fuck. But my chief told me I'm brain banging and I don't have to like this shit. I'm just good at it.
Right.
You got anything else before I take another caller, sweetie?
I did have really one last thing, and it was kind of off of what I was talking about. It was really about the kids. I recently started like working. I don't have like any background with like kids at all, and low key like growing up like from like the relationship that I had like with my mom and my younger brothers for a while, I did not like children. Like I didn't want to have kids, nothing like that. But like in the middle of high school, I don't know, something had just switched and like I just love children. Like oh my gosh, I would like how you be coming about the kids. That's how I be coming about the kids. Like anybody's kids. I don't even care if I don't know you. Like, but I started working at this school recently, just like as a job, and that ringing in the ears that you be talking about, like I would get that at home sometimes, but it hadn't been happening for a while. And then once I started working like at the school, I would be sitting in the classroom like with the kids, and I'm an aide, so like I just sit with them like and help with the teacher really.
Mm-hmm.
But I would be journaling and stuff like I'd be journaling just like in my book and stuff, and I would just have that ringing like in my ears, like, and it would be kind of like piercing, but a very low volume, and then it would kind of go away. But I noticed it really only happens when I'm at the school with the kids, and also since I started working there, like everybody's just been like, "You're amazing with the kids. Like you should do this like as your job." Like, but I be telling them like I couldn't work like as an actual teacher, like and what we have set up right now as a school, like I would need us to have that new system set in place before I could do some shit like that. Cause like I feel like the school systems that we have now is really just like many prison systems. Like the way that they set up is really military
It
and
is.
like just so it's
We
not
got
meant for
to
kids.
go back to, we never had schools before. Schools and prisons is the newest social things in on our land. We didn't have schools. We used to learn in Big Mama's kitchen, on Big Papa's barn. We had different method of teaching. It was, if you read Neely Fuller, he called it the open air method. The open air method is way more effective in teaching our children than the four walls method. The four walls method is school, which comes from the Yiddish word shul,
Which
which
is
comes
hell.
from the Hebrew
Which
word
is hell.
sheol. Yeah.
That shit is hell for them kids. And I'm like, I'm not to cut you off, but as an adult, like the other adults be in there and they were like, yeah, are you having a rough day or like, and I'm just like, why did y'all pick this job? Like y'all hate these kids, really.
It ain't the
And I'm
kid.
like, why do y'all have this job? Like I really love them kids and don't get me wrong, some of them kids, you do need a little extra time with them, but I feel like it's hell exactly that. So like the way that it's set up, they can't get that one-on-one care that they really need to help them. It's just like this is a problem child and they just need to be dealt with. Or their parents need to deal with them. And I'm like, that's not I don't know. That really bothers me. And I'm like, I don't know, that really be
Elijah Muhammad's description of a black devil is an original man who acts other than himself, right?
mm,
So when you're looking at what he's saying, the school system teaches you to act like you from Europe. Why the fuck I want to act like I'm from Europe when I'm from over here, right?
I'm from
Why do I
England.
want to wear buckle heels when I'm more comfortable wearing moccasins? That make this shit make sense. So if we become devil by behaving other than our true self, they school system teaches us how to behave like they want their children to behave. This is why they are on what they call fast forward to the LGBTQ, LSVT, whatever other alphabets they want to add community, because that's their culture. That's not our culture.
Right.
If they can get our children to buy into and perpetuate their homosexual culture, then it start turning our children into converts into the homosexual lifestyle. Now, I don't have an issue with gay people per se. I have an issue with adult gay people trying to convert innocent children into
Yeah,
becoming gay.
because kids don't even need all that.
Hell, they shouldn't even be talking about nothing sexual until right before puberty. That, they don't need sex education in the second, third, and fourth grade. What the fuck wrong with you people? They want to know about boys want to know about cars and trucks and dogs and shit in the third, fourth, and fifth grade. Girls want to know about how to do my hair, teach me how to make my makeup on, put my fingernails on, but they ain't thinking about fucking. Right?
Yeah,
Girls is trying to learn how to primp so they'll know how to be pretty when they older. Boys want to learn how to, do masculine release things. They want to ride in the rodeo and shit. They got us thinking that that's a pale man. I mean, we invented that shit. Look, the Apaches was the first ones that used to do what they call underbelly riding in war. They slide around that horse, you won't even know that the horse is coming, got people on them because they under the fucking horse, riding from underbelly. How in the fuck do you do that? Right? But they had that shit to a science. And now they telling us that Buffalo Bill Cody, who really ain't that guy they be showing us the pictures of, he really looked more like the picture of Bass Reeves than the picture that they showing us of Buffalo Bill. But okay, you want to whitewash history, go ahead, whitewash history. But when you find out the baddest motherfucking horsemen that ever trained horses, break horses, they all look like us. They called us cowboy because they didn't want to call us men. Hey, boy, go fetch my cow. What? How we going to get the cow if we ain't riding the fucking horse? We ain't gonna run that motherfucker down on our feet, right?
yeah.
And I was listening to Dick Gregory talking about how he scolded uh, Bob Marley about that song Buffalo Soldier. Buffalo soldiers existed long before Columbus came. It had nothing to do with that shit that they telling us about now. That was when they was running the buffalo off the cliffs. They would them the motherfuckers they wanted to get rid of. See, you got just like you got the gorilla clan, you had a buffalo clan, a elk clan, a reindeer or a deer clan, whitetail, different deer, and they would wear their pelts. This is why they call them skinwalkers. Now they got us thinking a skinwalker a ghost. No, we walk around with motherfucking skins on. So you motherfuckers can't tell who he is. The same reason you bitches wear KKK uniforms with your black hand hanging from under them, like we can't see that shit.
Yeah.
My father say, boy, you don't know what the most feared thing in the South was? I said, yes, I do, Pops. He said, no, you don't. I said, it was the black hand. He said, how the fuck you know that? Yeah, he used to say that so much in the last couple of years I had with him. He asked me a question. He just know I'm not. There's no way he gonna know this. And I answered the question. He said, how the fuck you know that? I said, Pops, I don't know. I know too much shit that I don't know why I know this shit. He said, it'll come in handy pretty soon. I mean, yeah, okay, whatever. I just know a bunch of shit. I'm just a walking fucking university. If a motherfucker asks me some shit, I just know some shit. I don't know why I know all this dumbass shit. I don't even need this shit. Now I need this shit.
Yeah.
Because now I can use it to wake up my
He told
people.
us his name.
But he used to get a real kick out of that. You know, I'm going to ask you one going to stump you. I said, Pops, you know why they called him the black hand? He said, he leaned over, he said, why they called him the black hand? I said, you ain't going to believe me when I tell you. He said, try me out one time. I say, because the original motherfuckers with that white KKK robe on, his hand was black hanging from under there, and he was the meanest motherfucker out the whole pack of them motherfuckers. He sit back and he said, what you say? I love my pops, boy. He was a Garveyite. Garvey was a bad motherfucker.
Yeah.
Elijah, my man, but Garvey was a bad. Garvey came and literally put a whole army together with the nurse brigade for the wounded, the whole shebang. He said, we want to get these motherfuckers out there. I'm going to show you how to do it. Now, when you listen to when you read Morals and Dogma by Albert Pike, he say that the Blue Lodge, right, that's the outer court. When you look at a royal house and you look at what the outer court is, that's all security. That's all that is. He said they're the outer degrees. That means they're the ones around the throne to go to war for the chief, for the king, right? So when we use that and we look at what Garvey's works was, and we know that he coming from Prince Hall Blue Lodge, and we know that Dubois coming from the Scottish Rite, but he's still coming from under Prince Hall. This confused the shit out of me at first, because the Scottish Rite actually gave the charter to the Blue House under Prince Hall, and them the motherfuckers we was warring with the whole time. They came in as 32 degrees Scottish Rite Freemasons, and the Scottish Rite held financial blood right rank over the York Rite, which is the Blue House. So when they did is they first pulled rank on the chiefs, because we didn't have all of the high chiefs on the land, right? When they pulled rank, they came in as if they was us to fill the position of leadership. That's why Garvey said they gave us leaders and they enslaved us. They gave our forefathers leaders and they put them in slavery. That's because they was looking at the brotherhood code of the lodge, never knowing these motherfuckers is coming in on some dirtbag shit out the gate. conquistadors. You hear me call them